I've had enough caffeine to kill a horse. Let's make some money. And it all starts with squeezing a lemon again and again and again and again and again at $4 each. But then I can reinvest my earnings into buying more lemons, which gives me more lemons per squeeze. We're up to $5 per click, which unlocked his newspaper delivery. I'm gonna buy as many lemons as I can right now, and each one we buy is gonna cost more and more money, but it's gonna be worth the investment. Because already we're up to $16 per click, and look at that money go up. I didn't even notice things like the oil company for $25 billion. We're gonna make so much money. And apparently we just unlocked something else for spending all that money on lemons, so now it goes twice as quick. So we're now making much more money. There we go. Look at that. We're up to $300 already. And this is why it's good to have an auto clicker. There's $1,000. I can just sit here and wait. Oh, we can hire a manager to do it. As much as I love torturing myself, we're gonna make it a little easier. I replaced my auto clicker with a person. This is great. But the auto clicker does never whine. And we don't have to feed it. And also, I'm still very much going to torture myself today. Let's reinvest it all in the lemonade stand. Now it has turned into an ever-moving line, but we're making so much money just off of lemonade so far. We haven't even got the second or third thing. And it looks like the more times we use all of the things, the faster they're going to work for us. And if we get very, very rich later, we can buy the moon for $100 trillion. And considering we've already made $25,000 off of just a lemonade stand, I think we're going to get there. So let's reinvest $30,000 into lemonade and watch the money go up. There's $2,000, $3,000. We can afford pizza delivery. We're maybe going to start a newspaper delivery because between the two of these, that'll be easy money. I'm already making more money than I can even spend on newspapers so far. We're going to need a lot of upgrades, so auto clicker to the rescue. The newspaper manager costs $15,000, so that's going to take like 15 seconds? No wonder these guys are always so happy. Look how much money they make. I looked away for 10 seconds and we're up to $30,000. Let's get a newspaper manager. I just realized we have a lemonade manager. Imagine that being your job in life, you manage a lemonade business. But upgrades here are also very expensive. These cost $4,000 each, $5,000 each, $6,000 each. But we've just doubled the speed of lemonade stand profits for getting them all the way to level 100. This one probably needs to hit level 50 before it gets its upgrade. Already upgrades are costing $25,000 each. Now they're $32,000. But I'm committed to turning this into 50. I don't really know why, but we're gonna do it. That could basically be the summary of my entire existence. And if we restart our business, we get an extra bonus. So prestiging is an option, but given that we're 2 businesses in, we're not going to do it just yet. There's level 50 for the newspaper business, and we got an offer that we're not going to take. Beat a newspaper business times 2. There we go. Look at that money go up. It's like $10,000 every 2 seconds, which probably means we should buy another 26 upgrades for the lemonade stand. Mostly just because we can. All this money really makes me want another coffee. Speaking of which, why is there no coffee shop option? Everyone knows that's a license to print money. Okay, these are gonna get a lot slower than I thought. I was expecting light speed lemons like this, but every time I click, that's a lot of waiting. How much for the manager? Runs car washes for $100,000. You can have that disaster, my friend. That's all you. And I can afford a lemonade upgrade for $250,000. I don't know how much money I have, but that sounds good to me. I wonder if I can hurt my computer just making numbers get bigger at a stupid rate. Anyways, we need to see a little bit more speed out of whatever this thing is. Look at that money fly. Speed of car wash profits times 2. It's definitely slow, but every time it touches down, we get a big burst of money because that adds basically 10% right now. And I'm going to make a new rule that I'm not going to buy the next business until I can afford the next manager because I don't really want to click anything myself. Mama Sean, we're buying you and we don't even own the business yet. Pizza delivery costs $8,640. So I'm going to spend $611,000 on it. And boy, is it ever slow. We're only level 21. But it's going to get us a lot of money every time it touches down. $90,000 just for making that bar go by. So already we're up to $650,000 again. So let's throw another $1 million or so into the newspaper business, which only got it 8 levels. Right, I'm maybe going to do the car wash next because I kind of want that to hit level 50. So even though we're making money at a stupid rate already, it's still going to take a long time to get any of these upgrades. We can afford a shrimp boat though, but the shrimp are going to have to wait. I'm going to buy the donut shop first and I need to make sure I can afford a donut manager. Jim Thornton, 1.2 million. I'm going to buy you again before the business itself. Then we start enrolling. That makes me 155,000 per tick. Actually, my next upgrade is going to be this one because that's going to hit 25 and that should double its speed. There we go. The money's going faster than ever before. Look at these fun numbers. Admiral Snack Bar can make the shrimp boats 99.999% cheaper or 750 octotrigintillion. Are these even real numbers? I hope they are. We're going to get there eventually. While we were admiring the good Admiral Snack Bar, we made enough money to get my car wash up to level 50. which means it's gonna go even faster now. $28,000 every tick. Realistically, we're making so much money already that I'm gonna leave this on the buy max option. That way every time we buy something, we invest all of our money in it. Like the donut shop. That went up to level 18 already, but look at the money it's gonna make us. Basically $1 million every this much. I think I also want to buy 38 lemonade upgrades to hit 150 because that's not gonna be a bonus at all. Never mind. And that's really not a big deal because we've already made our money back. There's $4 million already. We're gonna get numbers all the way across the screen soon. Just waiting on times 7 for the donut shop. And that alone is gonna cost us almost $10 million, but it's worth it. The shrimp boat costs $2.5 million, so the manager is probably pretty expensive. Forrest Trump. $10 million. Look at all of these upgrades though. Car wash profits times 3 for $1 million. Yes, please. That one for $5 million, apparently we have that, and this one for $500,000. So we're up to about $100,000 every second, which seems like quite a lot, but that also makes me really excited for where we're going. I don't know what's so satisfying about just sitting here watching numbers get bigger, but it is. Forrest Trump, $10 million, you're mine, and you don't even have a boat yet. So I guess we should probably get him one of those. That's going to give me 3.11 per click. It's very slow, but very profitable. Level 8 already. We'll see if we can hit level 10. It's already going to give us 5 million per tick. Level 10 didn't give us a bonus. I guess we'll have to just settle for $6.8 million per minute. A few short minutes and $37 million later, we can afford some new upgrades. Let's fix our shrimp boat up for $25 million. Plus a donut shop for another 10. So now this is gonna get us $20 million per tick. Even the donut shop is up to 4 million. And we finally have enough to buy a hockey team whose manager costs a modest 111 million. Might have to buy some new upgrades before we're gonna get a hold of that. Actually, we can afford enough for 55 million to put the pizza up to level 50, which is gonna make profits times 2. And that's worth it. Every time we invest a bit of money, this means we make more and more money quicker. Just like in real life. But instead of actually investing my money, I invest all my time into playing games like this for some reason. But one day I will have a monocle. That didn't take any time at all. We have 170 million, which means we're gonna buy Don Sherry for 111 million. Then we should probably also buy him a hockey team to manage. Then we get warps, which use a time warp to get us instant profit apparently. Here are a couple on the house. Thank you, but I'm gonna save those for when we're really making money. And yeah, that does seem a bit ridiculous when we're making $1 million every few seconds, but I'm a ridiculous kind of person. The hockey team does take a full 6 minutes and change, but it's gonna get us 22 million every time it does. That's actually pretty slow. We're gonna need a few upgrades to get that making money. It would definitely be fun to have something like the newspaper that's that fast, making a stupid amount of money. $10,000 per this thing is pretty good. We can do better. So let's drop it 114 million on a little upgrade. Now it makes $16,000, so it's already making over 50% more money. And then it's only 10 levels away from its next upgrade, which will only take like $100 trillion. I just realized that maybe before I spend a whole bunch of money on newspaper upgrades, I could upgrade my shrimp boat because that will hit a new level for $134 million. Now it goes twice as fast. And every time it touches down at its super speed, we get $50 million out of the deal. Do you think this would be worth the investment if we upgraded this 7 times for 188 million just before it touches down? I'm thinking probably not, so we're maybe gonna do it. I'll wait till there's 5 seconds left and we're gonna see if we make our money back. I accidentally clicked that with 45 seconds left, but that only earns us about 70 million extra, which sounds like a lot, but it's not worth it for the amount of time. So it's back to the waiting game. We'll get our donut shop to level 50. And as we get 48 million from our shrimp boat, we can upgrade our donut shop all the way for 228 million. But that means it's 2 times the profit now. I think this is our single most profitable item now because that's $8 million every time it touches down, which only takes a total of 4 seconds. The next manager for the movie studios, Stefani Spielberger, costs $555 million, which is still more than we have. But we're going to need to upgrade some other things first, like our newspapers to level 100. $350 million upgrade, but look how quick that goes. $18,000 every one of those things. I kind of want to upgrade our donut shop because it's already giving us $8 million per 4 seconds. So if we do that, we're getting $8.5 million per 4 seconds, 8.7 million. I feel like this is going to make us pretty rich pretty quick. Correction, it is 8.7 per 5 seconds because 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, it waits a second after it hits 0. Clearly this game thinks I have a lot of time on my hands. Anyways, the movie studio is going to be 180 plus 550 for about $750 million, so we're going to wait for that. Just kidding. I figure if I buy the movie studio for 180 million and click it once, it's going to take 25 minutes to touch down anyways. We don't even need to buy a manager for that yet. 25 minutes. And the bank is going to cost $2 billion, whereas the oil company is going to cost $25 billion, so we still have a ways to go. To put this into perspective, we already have $413 million and we can buy 2 upgrades for the movie studio. So let's milk all we can out of these small thriving businesses. In 13 more levels, that's going to be going at twice the speed. Upgrading this car wash is going to get expensive. Bringing it up to level 91, another 3 levels is already costing $250 million. But that's going to be a pretty profitable car wash. For the first time, we hit $1 billion. And that's still not enough to upgrade my car wash to 100. And yeah, it would be faster to be upgrading it along the way, but I like the big dramatic one shot. Finally, we're able to bump that up to level 100. So we're going from making 142,000 every 3 seconds, making 162,000 every 1 second, or thereabouts. I know it's fast enough to not get a reading on the scale anymore. While we're at it, let's upgrade the lemons to see if there's another upgrade at level 200, and there is. The lemons are going twice as fast. So now we're making, I don't know how much money, millions and millions and millions of dollars per second overall. The big question now, do we want to triple our hockey team's profits for $500 million? It's just money. $500 million, that's nothing. So it's now making $268 million per 7 minutes or something. But I feel like that still pales in comparison to what these guys are actually making. They're smaller amounts, but they're so much faster. I've really got to focus on upgrading these. I decided to reinvest some money into that hockey team of mine, and look what we could do now. Another 4 levels? 559 million per tick, but the speed did increase. So it's 600 million every 3 minutes or something thereabouts. A short time later, we can upgrade our shrimp boat to level 50, which means profits times 2. Look how quick it's gonna go now for almost $100 million. 23 seconds for $100 million. Next, he's going to be trying to get that hockey team up to level 50 because it's already giving us 559 million per cycle, but it's crazy expensive at $161 million per upgrade. Magically, we're up to $5.6 billion, which is enough to buy the bank, but instead we're going to spend it on 4 upgrades to pizza to bring that up to level 100. And you might be asking if that was a wise investment, but if you've ever had pizza, you'd understand. Plus, it's making me $1.3 million every 2 seconds. And thanks to that upgrade, we very quickly earned another $2.3 billion, so now we can unlock the bank, which is going to get us $1 billion every hour and 3/4. So that's a long time to wait, and the upgrades start at $2.3 billion. And here I am, dreaming of unlocking the moon for 100 trillion. But don't worry, I've got oodles of time. We'll just keep on upgrading things until we're making $100 trillion a second. I just touched the time warp it gave me, and it gave me $112 billion. I thought I'd get a few billion out of that. So that kind of jumped me ahead. We've got a lot of money to invest. First thing I'm going to do is buy some managers, at least this one for 500 million. That way I don't have to click the movie button anymore because I'm far too busy for that. Well, maybe also buy the bank manager because he only costs $10 billion, the Dark Lord. And then while we're at it, I guess we're going to unlock the oil company, and that's going to leave us still with $20 billion left over, and we get 5 gold, which looks like it's used to buy boosts. But I'm kind of doing things the painful way today. The oil, by the way, takes 10 hours to do, but it's going to give us $90 billion by itself. Things are definitely getting expensive fast because even with $20 billion, I can upgrade my pizza place 7 more times. That's it. I can't even get my donut shop to level 100 with that. So I think what I am going to do is maybe upgrade my movie studio to level 25 because that's going to be the single best investment I can make right now. Plus, as soon as I save up $10 billion, I can upgrade its profit 3 times. As soon as I manage to get this bank triple profited and maybe up to level 50, it will pay for so many more upgrades and jump me way ahead. I'm here just patiently waiting. We're up to almost $7 billion and I need 10 for the next upgrade, but it's gonna make a big difference. But things are growing quickly because we have $7.1 billion currently and our lifetime earnings are $145 billion. But the more we upgrade, the more this session is gonna grow. It's gonna go bigger, quicker. Plus, I'm pretty sure for every upgrade we buy for the movie studio, it's gonna increase the profits by $1 billion per click. And if you ever have the opportunity in life to increase anything by $1 billion per click, do it. And I'm playing this really exciting game with myself to see if we're going to get $10 billion before the 7 minutes and 45 seconds is up. So I basically sit here and watch one number get smaller and one get bigger. I couldn't imagine why people say there's something wrong with me. It worked. I looked away for a second. We're at 11 billion. So a small $10 billion investment means that in 4 more minutes, we're going to get $7.5 billion back. Wait, only another 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Such excitement. And look what we got. Just before it's about to expire, we're going to spend $2 billion, and that's going to give us not nearly as much extra as you would have thought for $2 billion. Remind me not to upgrade this ever again. Maybe the shrimp boat is where we should be spending all of our money. That added an extra 5 million for every whatever it takes. And I again don't really know what we're earning per second, but it's the average of some millions, maybe even tens of millions at this point. It's pretty quick. Well, I guess it did still give us $7.8 billion, so we've got some upgrades to choose from. So for things like the bank, we're going to wait till it's much closer to being done before bothering to sink any money into that, because it doesn't matter if we do it when the bar is here or over here. I'm thinking we either get the hockey team to level 50 or the shrimp boat to level 100. In either way, that's going to be extremely expensive and time consuming. Our $8.8 billion is only going to get us 17 levels here, but that's probably worth it because that's going to give us $1 billion every 3 minutes and 11 seconds. That's actually very, very good. Plus, we're only 4 levels away from level 50, so that profit's going up. By the time it's almost ready to pop again, we can afford one more upgrade, which isn't going to make a huge difference, but it won't until we hit 50 anyways. Alright, we very patiently waited away up to 2.4 billion, which is enough to get my hockey team up to level 50, which means it's going twice as quick. So it's now earning us 1.1 billion every minute and a half, which means we're generally pretty rich, but we still need to do better. I think we should upgrade the bank. They just print money anyways, so currently they're giving us $1 billion per whatever. Now they're giving us $2 billion for whatever, so every time we upgrade that, an extra $1 billion is coming our way. We just have to wait over an hour for it. The trick here is that the more expensive businesses are worth it, you just have to wait so long to see that reward. But since our film studio just bumped us up to another 10 billion, let's see if we can start working on this bank. So if we add 3 levels to that, that's worth an extra 5 billion. So we get about half our investments back worth. So maybe I'll just try and grind out the bank to 25 and the film studio to 50. What am I saying? Try and grind something out? I will grind it out. Mostly because I don't really have a choice. I don't have a life. Well, at least at this point, after several hours, it's not too hard to grind up another $10 billion. It is, however, very easy to spend it. Here's 2 upgrades. But don't you worry, once that hits level 25, it'll only take like 4 hours to get the money back. Actually, no it won't. Since we have everything unlocked and nicely upgraded, let's use another warp, which is giving us $350 billion. That's pretty easy. So instead of buying max, I'm gonna do things like upgrade this to level 50 while we have the money to do it. That's pretty expensive in itself, but movie studio profits times 2. Plus, we're going to buy gold-plated vaults, which is going to triple our bank profits, and that's going to cost us 50 billion. But now when that bank's ready to go, $22.5 billion. And look at that, we have perfectly enough to get it to level 25 if we spend 137 billion on it. All of our upgrades are getting into the trillions now, and that's a little bit disheartening. But also by happy coincidence, we can buy exactly enough to make the donut shop hit level 100, so we're going to do that. Which was also a pretty good upgrade, because now every 3 seconds, 15 million. So our money is going up and up and up. And it's hard to really get a scale for that because this isn't billions, but this is hundreds of millions. So 297 million, 314 million, 316 million, you get the point. We could spend 34 billion getting the lemons up to level 300. But is it worth it? No, lemons are way too small. Next, I think I want to just buy 2 upgrades for my oil thing, and probably one for this. Because just between these 2, that's a lot of money. But because things are still too slow for my liking, only 26 billion left over, we're going to use the warp one more time. For 909 billion, we're almost at $1 trillion, which really makes me see how long it's going to take to get through this game. I think unless you're buying upgrades, you're not going to get very far very fast. But we're going to buy another 22 upgrades for this, because then we're only 2 away. And I don't think it's going to take us that long to make up the 86, probably $200 billion we're going to need to do that. Our session earnings by now are only 1.5 trillion. So I've got to earn a lot more if I'm going to get that moon. If we were to restart right now, we would get 2% plus 0.48% per angel, so we get 4.5%. Not worth it yet. So in order for a lot of these to hit their next level, the car wash for example, I would need $1.2 quadrillion. I'm not really sure how big that is, but I'm pretty sure a quadrillion comes after a trillion. So I need 1200 trillions to get one single upgrade to that. And that actually really excites me because I like games with a lot to work towards. The ones you can finish in a few hours, not as good. The most realistic one that would do the best for me right now is spending 2 trillion on the hockey rink. Because that would give me well over $1 billion every 30 to 45 seconds. And that would be the kind of progress I need. But for now, I'll settle for this one every 7 minutes, giving me $13 billion. Eventually that will add up to something useful. And later on, we can even get a new currency called megabucks. 1 megabuck costs $1 decillion. decillion. I don't even know how to pronounce that because that's basically a made-up word to people like you and me. Unless we're playing a clicker game, then those numbers are fairly easy to get once we work our way through the billions, trillions, and whatever comes after that. Can you believe it's only going to be another 21 minutes before I get $158 billion? I'm having another one of those amazing races where I'm trying to get $93 billion before the next 20 minutes so I can upgrade this to 50. There's literally no point in me doing that. I just need something to entertain myself with. I guess in theory that will cut in half the time for next round. Well, here it is, the moment I've been waiting for. We're about to get $158 billion. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our level 50 upgrade because we're still out by 10 billion, but I'll take this amount of money. And that makes me sad, because we're up to 241 billion and we can't really get a lot of meaningful upgrades. We can buy this one, which is going to cut the time in half. So now every 25 minutes, we get 161 billion. But again, that's every 25 minutes. But I mean, I've got time if you do. Let's spend 146 billion on upgrades for this guy. There we go, another 160 billion dollars, which brings us up to 260 billion. So now we basically wait another 25.5 minutes for that to happen again. Wow, you wouldn't believe how fast time flies when you're sitting here watching numbers go up. But also there's another 160 billion, which puts me up to 521 billion, or a little over half a trillion, which does sound like a lot because 521 billion is a lot, but that means I only have enough to upgrade one of 3 different things currently, none of which are really worth my time. What I really need is $1 trillion to buy Monopoly. That means all profits times 3. And what's that gonna take? Only another hour? 1 short hour later and we're back over $1 trillion. And I tell you, each minute gets even more exciting than the last. But now we can finally afford something that's really gonna help, all profits times 3. So that really knocked the time down on a lot of things. Look at everything moving. We still have $45 billion to our name, and I feel like that's going to jump up pretty quick. Because this one's up to 55,000 all by itself, even these ones, 46 billion here, 483 billion just for getting through 24 minutes. And in 6 hours and 50 minutes, when most of us are waking up to start our day, I'm going to get $445 billion. And what am I going to spend it on? Making more money. Things are definitely much faster though. We're already up to 95 billion. Now, with our $102 billion, we're gonna buy a manager, Derek Plainview. That way he can hopefully continue to make me money until I want to pick this game up again. But I feel like we made over $1 trillion and that's a pretty good place to start. Next time, the moon.